So this morning we're at David Berger National Memorial. It's one of the smallest National Park Service related areas. It's more or less just a statue. It's dedicated to an American-born Israeli Olympian, one of 11 murdered during the 1972 Munich Olympics. David Mark Berger was born in Shaker Heights, Ohio. He showed an interest in weightlifting from an early age. He attended Tulane University from 1962 to 1966, where he was a weightlifter and honor student. While at Tulane, he won an NCAA weightlifting title and earned a bachelor's in psychology. He then enrolled in a combined MBA law degree program at Columbia University, from which he graduated in 1969. During his educational endeavors, he continued to train and compete in weightlifting events. In the early 1970s, David emigrated to Israel, where he met and became engaged to an Israeli student. He continued participating in weightlifting competitions and won a silver medal in the 1971 Asian Games and made the 1972 Israeli Olympic team. In late August of that year, he flew to Munich with his teammates. On September 2, 1972, David competed but was eliminated in an early round. During the Olympics in West Germany, a terrorist attack, later referred to as the Munich Massacre, took place. 8 members of the Palestinian terrorist group Black September killed 2 members of the Israeli Olympic team and took an additional 9 Israelis hostage. In a failed attempt to rescue the hostages, 5 of the 8 Black September terrorists were killed, but all 9 of the remaining Israelis died. A West German policeman was also killed in the crossfire. David Berger was 28 years old at the time of his death, and is buried in Mayfield Cemetery in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. The David Berger National Memorial sculpture was created by the late David E. Davis. It was commissioned and paid for by a group of 8 families, all personal friends of David's parents, Dr. Benjamin and Dorothy Berger. Congress authorized the David Berger National Memorial on March 5, 1980. It's the only memorial in America commemorating the terrorist attacks at the 1972 Olympics. The memorial is nearly 14 feet high, 11 feet wide, and weighs 6,000 pounds. It was made of Corten steel, a type of steel alloy which oxidizes naturally over time to yield a rich rust color and granular texture. It's a series of broken Olympic rings, and it's dedicated to all of the 11 Israeli Olympians, but it's here because David Berger was U.S. born and from this area. It symbolizes the interruption of the Munich Games by the tragic events. The 11 segments on which the rings rest represent each athlete whose life was taken. One of the segments is slightly different from the rest, to symbolize the unique events in David's life that led him to the Israeli Olympic team and to his death. But there is an upward motion in the broken rings to suggest the peaceful intent of the Olympics, a search for understanding and hope for the future. David Berger National Memorial's first home was on the grounds of the Jewish Community Center in Cleveland Heights. When that facility closed in 2005, the statue was cleaned and relocated to the grounds of the Mandel Jewish Community Center of Cleveland in Beechwood, Ohio. For visitors looking for site hours, the National Park Service passport stamp, and any additional information, reach out to the community center for details. It has a strange designation in that it's not on maps in the same way that, Mount Rushmore and other similar memorials are. This one's connected to Cuyahoga Valley National Park, the closest nearby major Park Service site, but it's actually maintained by the local Jewish community center, and it sits in front of their building, which is directly behind me over here. But it's a sad but I think impressive and interesting memorial.